The container ship CMA-CGM Musette came from Southampton in Great Britain. The vessel is 400 meters long, 40 meters wide, and was built in 2010. She was sailing to Hamburg. The tanker Capella came from Esbjerg in Denmark. Built in 2003, she is 69 meters long and 10 meters wide. The freighter Rix Voyager came from Hamburg with destination Belfast in Great Britain. Her length is 90 meters, her beam 13 meters, and she was built in 1997. The tanker Golden Orchid is 16 years old, 144 meters long and 23 meters wide. She came from IJmuiden in the Netherlands. Meanwhile, it had become evening, and the wind had picked up quite a bit. Then the HMM Le Havre came down the Elbe from Hamburg. Her length is 400 meters, her beam 61 meters, and she was built in 2020. She was underway to Southampton in Great Britain. I think the strong wind from behind was the reason why the feeder Elbsen was driving up the Elbe with a speed of over 18 knots. She measures 141 to 24 meters, is 13 years old, and came from Bremerhaven. As on every evening during the summer season, the catamaran Halunde Jet came by with a speed of 36 knots on her way from Heligoland to Hamburg. Halu has a length of 57 meters, a beam of 14 meters, and was built in 2018. Coming from Le Havre in France was the box mover Nick Constellation. Built in 2007, she is 294 meters long and 32 meters wide. The cattles on the dike were not overly impressed by the wonderful ships that were driving by. Like, for example, the MSC Rosa M we see here. She has a length of 366 meters, a beam of 51 meters, and was built in 2010. Her destination was Hamburg. She had come from Aarhus in Denmark. From Terneuzen in the Netherlands came the freighter La Fielle. She is 89 meters long, 13 meters wide, and was built in 2001. Her destination was Stade. Coming from Hamburg was the bulk carrier Vega Stettind. She is 17 years old, 190 meters long and 32 meters wide. Her destination was Rotterdam. The container ship YM Wreath came from Rotterdam Maasvlakte. She was built in 2017, is 368 meters long, and has a beam of 51 meters. The feeder Thetis D is 168 meters long and 27 meters wide. The year she was built was 2009. Her tour went from Hamburg to Bremerhaven. From the direction of Brunsbüttel, heavy rain set in and the wind abruptly became stormy. And so, that day on the dike came to an end. It had cold wind from northeast on the dike, with a temperature of 12 degrees Celsius. So, real spring feelings don't come up for me. In any way, the freighter Elisa K came by. She was built in 2021, is 87 meters long and 15 meters wide. Rotterdam Vondeling was her starting port. The tanker Aragonith is 26 years old, 93 meters long and 15 meters wide. She drove from Wilhelmshaven to Butzfleeth. The 2020 built CMA-CGM Palais Royal is 400 meters long and has a beam of 61 meters. She came from Hamburg with destination Antwerp. From Hamburg to Rotterdam drove the chemical tanker Orines. She measures 79 to 13 meters and is 40 years old. This is the Maersk Sembawang. She was built in 2007. Long is the vessel 318 meters, wide 40 meters. The Maersk Sembawang was underway to Wilhelmshaven. Arctic Commander is a 28-years-old container ship with a length of 101 meters and a beam of 17 meters. She came from Egersund in Norway. From Halifax in Canada came the Conroe Atlantic Sky. She was built in 2017, has a length of 296 meters and a beam of 38 meters. The Hapag-Lloyd container ship Al Safat had started her tour in Southampton in Great Britain. Her size is 306 to 40 meters, and she is 17 years old. She was sailing to Hamburg. We had cold, gusty wind from north on the dike, but the fast light changes were pretty. So the feeder Vega Alpha showed up, a 155 meters long, 22 meters wide, and 20 years old ship. She came from Immingham in Great Britain. Coming from Rotterdam Botlek was the tanker Cape Water. She has a length of 100 meters, a beam of 16 meters, and was built in 2009. The bulk carrier Golden John came from Hamburg. She is 227 meters long, 36 meters wide, and was built in 2023. Her destination was Narvik in Norway. Henneke Rambo is an 18-years-old feeder that was coming from Tilbury in Great Britain. She has a length of 134 meters and a beam of 23 meters. The AS Petronia was underway to Bremerhaven. This container ship is 210 meters long, 30 meters wide, and 21 years old. The tanker NQ Frisia came from Antwerp with destination Hamburg. She has a size of 120 to 22 meters and was built in 2018. This is the 10-years-old bulk carrier Synthesia. She was sailing to Sept Îles in Canada. Her length is 225 meters, her beam 32 meters. En route to Bremerhaven was the CMA CGM Rundale. She was built in 2024, is 204 meters long and 30 meters wide. Navi Baltic is a 16-years-old container ship with a length of 168 meters and a beam of 27 meters. She was sailing to Norrköping in Sweden. On her way to Thames in England was the Norfolk Express. This container ship from Hapag-Lloyd measures 369 to 51 meters and was built in 2013.